At least that complaint about not enough money in the hands of the middle class, that complaint seems to have been taken care of in fair measure, to be fair to the government and to the finance minister. But will this kickstart the virtuous investment cycle? Will this kickstart again the consumption cycle? Earlier in the day, I spoke to Union Commerce and Industry Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal about exactly this. How do we go from a 6.4, 6.5% growth economy back to an 8% growth economy? Let's listen in to excerpts from that conversation. Thank you very much, Piyush ji, for speaking with us. That seems to be the headline, whether it's for the middle class, for the television channels, and I'm sure for the newspapers tomorrow morning. The basic slab being increased from 7 lakhs by a massive 5 lakhs up to 12. Why do you believe this will have a multiplier effect, put more money in the hands of the middle class, and thereby spur consumption, which was rather tepid in the last few months?
Thank you, Zaka. Lovely talking to you. I am extremely delighted that the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Finance Minister have taken this very bold initiative to make the income tax of almost all the middle class totally tax-free. With 12 lakhs or 12.75 lakhs for salary earners, you will find that most of the middle class people will get pretty much relieved of their tax burden. It's a very big relief, and I compliment the Prime Minister for this bold decision, which will not only add to the disposable income of the middle class, which will not only give them the ability to meet their aspirations, take the good things of life which they have been wanting to purchase or which they have been wanting to own, but will also give a great fillip to the national economy. Now imagine with 1 lakh crore rupees extra as disposable income, and a lot of people also will be able to leverage that through EMIs and other schemes. You will be finding a great consumption-led growth impetus to the economy, coupled with the investment that continues to labor on consumption-led growth, and the thrust on manufacturing and exports that you will find in different parts of the budget, whether it's for toys, leather and footwear manufactured goods, whether it's an effort to promote ease of doing business both at the center and states, whether it's the effort to promote tourism. It's a very multi-dimensional, holistic view of the economy which the Prime Minister has taken, and I'm sure this will have a tremendous impact on job creation. It will have a tremendous boost to the national economy.
Piyush ji, I want you to speak to the concerns around exports and international trade. Survey yesterday saying that the outlook is cloudy, but today the announcements that have been made specifically in leather, in footwear, in toys, etc. How do you think it would mitigate some of the concerns that were highlighted in the survey yesterday?
Well, I'm reminded of that famous dialogue of Atalji's, Andhera hatega, badal chhatenge, suraj ugega aur kamal khilega. But I was only referring to the badal chhatenge. These kind of clouds have come before our government very often. After all, 2 years of COVID, 2 global wars going on, we've had a series of challenges. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, through his deft handling of the situation, has converted every challenge into an opportunity for the country. And I can assure you, given his wonderful relations with world leaders across continents, given his popularity both in India and internationally, given the fact that world leaders today trust Prime Minister Narendra Modi and India to deliver, we are today experiencing the best time that India could imagine in this turbulent world. Despite all the difficulties, India continues to be the fastest growing economy in the world. This budget continues on the path of fiscal prudence. You have seen our fiscal deficit, instead of 4.9 closing at 4.8 this year. Next year was expected to be 4.5, 4.6. Now it's targeted to be 4.4. Our debt to GDP ratio is falling. Foreign exchange reserves are comfortable. We are in a sweet spot. And with the reduction of several tariffs today, we have signaled that we are going to promote Atmanirbharta, domestic manufacturing, as well as integrate ourselves with the world economy.
The opposition has been saying this was an opportunity for, some big bang reforms. We've been talking about land reform, labor reform, etc. For a number of years now. Divestment, we didn't hear anything in the budget speech about divestment. How would you speak to those concerns?
Well, I think the opposition is unable to understand the meaning of the word reform. This is one of the most reformist budgets that I have seen in a long time. Now, every element of our work, of our economy, is going through a continuous transformation. Now, let us for a moment take the Jan Vishwas bill. We've already come out with one. The second is on the anvil. We have identified 100 items. We are inviting public to give us more ideas. Industry, private sector, both at the center and states. Now we are involving the states in the ease of doing business. We are trying to incentivize them, as Nirmala ji mentioned. We are going to try and work with them to make it like a challenge to attract investment among states. We are working with states to promote tourism. So 1.5 lakh crore has been kept as a 50-year zero-interest grant loan. Now that's as good as a grant. You know that Zaka, after 50 years, when that loan is repaid at zero interest, is almost like, like a grant.
Yeah.
You pay back maybe 1 or 2% on net present value. So with that, we are going to incentivize states to promote 50 new destinations, to provide last mile connectivity, to plug the leakages in their ease of doing business systems. So Prime Minister Modi is using innovative tools to promote well-performing states, to encourage states to compete with each other, to encourage investment through the length and breadth of the country. He wants to see balanced growth. Right from 2014, Prime Minister has focused on the Northeast. He's focused on East India, that they should develop, without which India cannot develop. Right from 2014, he has believed in our youth, in the startup ecosystem, which the Startup India was launched on 16 January 2016. And today is the world's third largest startup ecosystem. We are going to have another 10,000 crores in Fund of Fund number 2. We're going to promote deep tech startups. We're going to promote health startups. It's a multi-dimensional reform initiative. Very difficult for the opposition to understand what wonderful future the country is looking up to under Prime Minister Modi's leadership.
All right, Minister Piyush Goyal, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us here on our budget coverage on CNN News 18.